Good morning, and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Evansville. We'd like to begin our service today by singing hymn number 1018 in the Teal hymnal. So stand if you're willing and able, and Mark will lead us in Come and Go With Me.
Come go with me to that land. Come go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land where I'm bound. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land where I'm bound. There will be freedom in that land. There will be freedom in that land. There will be freedom in that land where I'm bound. There'll be freedom in that land. There'll be freedom in that land. There will be freedom in that land where I'm bound. Justice. There will be justice in that land. There will be justice in that land. There will be justice in that land where I'm bound, where I'm bound. There will be justice in that land. There will be justice in that land. There will be justice in that land where I'm bound. Singing, there will be singing in that land. There will be singing in that land. There will be singing in that land where I'm bound. There'll be singing in that land. There'll be singing in that land. There'll be singing in that land where I'm bound.
Thank you for that. Again, welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Evansville. My name is Tom Moore. I'm the worship leader this morning. We welcome you, whoever you are, however you got here, whatever your identities, whatever your spiritual path or paths you're on. Our door is open and you are welcome. You are more than all of those things. We welcome the essence of you. And thank you for being here. I want to ask now if there are any church announcements that need to be made. Wait, I can't tell.
Yes, I'm just dropping everything all over the place. Thank you. Thank you for acknowledging my talent at dropping my things all over the place. Good morning. I actually have a couple of announcements today. One of them is regarding Thanksgiving. I had said last week that we needed someone to take charge, and if they did, we would have it. Susan Ackerman has agreed to head it as long as we have at least 8 or 10 people. So, if you're planning to do it, please sign up. I did put sign-up sheets out there. One of them is just information. These are the things we need. You don't need to write on that one. The other one says, please list each person separately who's coming and what everybody's bringing. I need to know probably this week because we're getting close to Thanksgiving. So if you're going to sign up, if you're thinking about signing, if this is your first time walking in the door this morning and you want to come to Thanksgiving, please do. The church will buy the turkey, and we're going to buy a prepared turkey because no one is willing to put in the work that Chris usually puts into it, but we will do that, and then, everybody brings everything else. Sign-up sheet is out there, so please sign up if you're interested. The other thing I wanted to announce is that the CLC committee thought today we might need a little extra comfort. So instead of just putting out extra cookies, we also have soup because we thought that would be good comfort food. So please stay around, grab a cookie, grab a cup of soup, hang out, support one another, and just be with us today after the service. There's also, for those of you who are new here, we always have coffee after the service so we can sort of hang out a little bit and get to know each other a little better. Thank you.
Hi everyone. This month's plate share goes to the Unitarian Universalist Service Committee. It's always the third Sunday of the month. This is the 50th anniversary of Guest at Your Table, so I'm hoping you'll take a box and make this little box a guest at your table, and you'll put your spare change in there, and then you'll write a check and bring it on the third Sunday of this month. I don't know if any of you are familiar with the Unitarian Universalist Service Committee, but it was started right before the war. It was called the Unitarian Service Committee then, and it actually helped save Jews from the Holocaust. And now it's evolved into helping humanitarianism all around the world. So if you have any questions, please make sure you take a box and let me know, and hopefully you'll make this a guest at your table.
Thank you.
You know, Christopher, a gentleman would have let the woman go first, you know. I'm just telling you. Chris and I have a love-hate relationship. This Friday is United Caring Shelter. We need some volunteers. I'm in charge, and it's only the second time I've been in charge, so I have no idea what I'm doing. So if you're interested in helping, we get to the shelter about 3:30, and we're done no later than about 5:30, I think it is. We just do spaghetti and salad and dessert and bread. And so anybody who's interested, just see me after church, let me know, and I'll put you on the list.
Thank you. Anyone online with an announcement? Don't think so. We mentioned that our doors are open, and we do welcome everyone. And one of the things we like to do here, if you are a visitor, to have you stand and say who you are so we can welcome you properly. And we don't want this to be a painful exercise, so if it's uncomfortable, don't do it. But if you are a visitor today and you're willing, if you'd stand, let us know who you are. We'd like to know that and welcome you. Any visitors this morning? Okay. Well, welcome. Well, welcome, Stephen. Well, thank you. Well, we do welcome you all, and thank you for being here. Oh, excuse me. Cool. Oh, great. Well, another tradition we have here, and which I think is an important part of our worship, is that we do stand up, model how not to be disconnected, but rather our connection to one another. And hopefully that's the grounds of a healthy community too. So take a few minutes, stand up, move around, take in the energy of the room, and greet one another this morning. So thank you. Thank you, Mark. Now with Unitarian Universalist churches worldwide, we light our chalice. If I could have a volunteer, please. And these are words by Catherine McTeague. We come together this morning to remind one another to rest for a moment on the firming edge of our lives, to resist the headlong tumble into the next moment until we claim for ourselves awareness and gratitude, taking the time to look into one another's faces and see their confirmation, the reflection of our own eyes. This house of laughter and silence, memory and hope is hallowed by our presence together. The Offertory is the sacrament of the Free Church. It is supported by the voluntary generosity of all who joined with us. The offering will now be given and received in grateful appreciation of our shared hopes and values. And just a couple of words. We'll need 2 volunteers to pass the plate. 2 quick things, though. If you are a visitor today, please let the plate pass you by. Your presence is gift enough. And also, as we say, as a mark of a healthy community, if you need money, take it out. If you have money, give it. So 2 volunteers. Thank you for those gifts. We trust they will be put to wise and judicious use, and thank you for all the ways you support the life and work of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Evansville. And if you're following the bulletin, now is the time for the story for all ages, and Ashley has prepared one for us. So.
Good morning. I would like to preface this story by saying a few things about my parents. Both of my parents are Marine Corps veterans. That's where they met. They met on base in California, 29 Palms. And a few months after meeting and being friends, my dad proposed to my mom on helicopter tarmac, getting ready to go to a different base. So that's kind of the household I grew up in. My dad, when I was about 5 years old, went to Operation Desert Shield. I don't know if any of you remember that. My mom stayed home, took care of my brother and I. As we've gotten older, my dad and I have had conversations about his time over there. He said he went over there knowing that he was trying to protect his family, his home. So I just want you all to keep that in mind. I honor my parents. I think they put love at the center of their lives every day. My dad did that out of love. He went over there out of love for his family, his home. My mom stayed home because of love. I also want to remind you of what Mr. Rogers said, to look for the helpers during this time in our lives. I think that's a very big, important thing to think about, and how we can look for those helpers, we can also be those helpers. The story I have this morning is What Do You Do with a Problem? It's written by Kobe Yamada, illustrated by May Bessam. I don't know how it happened, but one day I had a problem. I didn't want it. I didn't ask for it. I really didn't like having a problem, but it was there. Why is it here? What does it want? What do you do with the problem? I thought. I wanted to make it go away. I shoot it, scowled at it. I tried ignoring it, but nothing worked. I started to worry about my problem. What if it swallows me up? What if my problem sneaks up and gets me? What if it takes away all of my things? I worried a lot. I worried about what would happen. I worried about what could happen. I worried about this and I worried about that. And the more I worried, the bigger my problem became. I wished it would just disappear. I tried everything I could to hide from it. I even found ways to disguise myself, but it still found me. And the more I avoided my problem, the more I saw it everywhere. I thought about it all the time. I didn't feel good at all. I couldn't take it anymore. This has to stop, I declared. Maybe I was making my problem bigger and scarier than it actually was. After all, my problem hadn't really swallowed me up or attacked me. I realized that I had to face it. So even though I didn't want to, even though I was really afraid, I got ready and I tackled my problem. When I got face to face with it, I discovered something. My problem wasn't what I thought it was. I discovered it had something beautiful inside. My problem held an opportunity. It was an opportunity for me to learn and to grow, to be brave, to do something. It showed me that it was important to look closely because some opportunities only come once. So now I see problems differently. I'm not afraid of them anymore because I know their secret. Every problem has an opportunity for something good. You just have to look for it. The end.
Sing the children out. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. I have two pieces for opening words this morning, and as part of our sharing time, we want to take time today if there's any election reflection that one feels they need to do, that we want to take that time to do that as well. And again, the theme today was to reflect on Veterans Day, which is tomorrow, and so I have a couple of readings regarding that. This is by sociologist Michael Messner, who wished his grandfather, a veteran of World War I, Happy Veterans Day on Veterans Day some years ago. It's not Veterans Day, it's Armistice Day, Russell Messner angrily replied. Those damn politicians went and changed it to Veterans Day so that they could keep having more wars. Armistice Day, the commemoration of the truce that brought an end to World War I, became Veterans Day in '54 in the aftermath of World War II and the Korean War. The reason President Dwight Eisenhower at the time said was to honor veterans of all wars, not just World War I. But to my grandfather and other World War I vets, that change symbolized for them a betrayal of what they felt was the promise of Armistice Day, not just to end their war, but to end all wars, and a commitment to peace. And then I want to share, this is a real personal poem by a veteran named W.D. Earnhardt, and it's a tribute to a teacher of his. And one of the themes of it is how steadfast this man was in his beliefs, and that he was always on, in his life and work were always to promote peace and justice. And as you hear it, you may reflect on persons in your life who have been influential, but I also think it could be a lesson for us as a community too, that people would speak of us as being steadfast in our work and model for peace and justice and inclusion. Later that same day. He looked like Lenin, really. I've never forgotten the first time I saw him 50 years ago. I had to do a double take, knowing Lenin had been dead for 50 years. He'd pace back and forth, gesticulating to a classroom full of college kids while rolling a cigarette, explaining Russian thought and literature and the quest for truth. What Lenin took for truth, I've no idea, but through the years, I came to know that truth meant justice, peace, honesty and fairness, decency, and generosity to Tom. You name the issue, Tom was always on the side you wanted to be on. Wars in Asia, the Americas, the Middle East, civil rights, prisoners' rights, women's rights, gay rights, the right to live with dignity. And now we would take a few moments of quiet time, which time you can pray, meditate, simply enjoy the quiet. Again, take in the energy of the room. And after centering that way, we will break that silence by singing hymn number 123 in the great hymnal, Spirit of Life.
shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of light, come to me, come to me.
Thank you, Mark. Tomorrow is Veterans Day. I know that because when I watch TV, there are mattress sales that shop on Veterans Day, or maybe you can buy a car. But I think it's and Sharon, I really appreciate what you said. I think it's important to acknowledge that we do have people in the armed services that are serving, most of whom are good-hearted people who want do serve and protect the country, and they're making certain kinds of sacrifices, and it's very appropriate that we do acknowledge them and for all they do, and also that we take care of them after their service. If there are still Vietnam-era veterans who have mental health and addiction issues and Agent Orange issues. I don't know if your younger people may not know about Agent Orange, but that was a defoliant that they used in the Vietnam War to try to kill off vegetation so you could see the North Vietnamese army better, but everyone was exposed. I know there are still deformed babies in Vietnam because of that. It's a powerful drug, but it made Dow Chemical a whole bunch of money. We owe them health care, we owe them mental health care, we owe them housing subsidies if they need that, we owe them any education, we owe them all of that for their service. And I think, again, tomorrow, amidst the capitalistic shopping frenzy, that you might remember the deeper meaning here, and even going back to the armistice history of Veterans Day. So that's the first thing I want to say. Second thing is also to remember our civic responsibility in terms of making policy about when and where and under what circumstances armed service people will be put into harm's way. I'm 75. The Vietnam War for me was when I was 18 to 21 and 25. I forget, it ended in 70, or we withdrew in 73, I believe. That was an undeclared war. Almost any activity, Iraq was an undeclared war, which ought to be, a constitutional issue for us, regardless of party. And that we ought to have some say in, again, those circumstances, and also just to reflect in our lifetime about what is, in fact, a national threat and what is not, and what fundamentally scares us. What are we afraid of in the world? We have 800 bases around the world, and you just have to ask, what are we afraid of? And if there are genuine fears, what are the appropriate responses to that in terms of human capital and physical capital? So I just wanted to bring those two things up, and given the time, if anyone has a response to Veterans Day specifically right now, we have a few minutes to do that. But otherwise, we'll end the service. Okay. Well, our closing hymn is in the gray hymnal. It's number 159. It's one of my favorites, to the beautiful Sibelius tune. So stand if you're willing and able, and we'll sing that together.
This is my song, O God of all the nations, a song of peace for lands afar and mine. but other hearts in other lands are beating with hopes and dreams as true and high as mine. My country's skies are bluer than the ocean. The sunlight beams on clover leaf and pine, but other lands have sunlight too and clover, and skies are everywhere as blue as mine. Oh, hear my song, thou God of all the nations, a song of peace for their land and for mine.
If you'd remain standing, please, and repeat the words in the bulletin as we extinguish the chalice. We extinguish this flame, not the light of truth, the warmth of community, the fire of commitment. As we tarry in our hearts, we are together again. Closing words are by the Trappist monk Thomas Merton. As long as we are on earth, the love that unites us will bring us suffering by our very contact with one another, because this love is the resetting of a body of broken bones. Even saints cannot live with saints on this earth without some anguish, without some pain at the differences that come between them. There are two things which people can do about the pain of disunion with other people. They can love or they can hate. Hatred recoils from the sacrifice and sorrow that are the price of this resetting of bones. It refuses the pain of reunion. But love, by the acceptance of the pain of reunion, begins to heal all wounds. Go in peace, and may your living bless the world.